Hello, hello. How is everybody tonight? Hello. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? Hello. How is everybody tonight? Hi, Alex. Isn't that ship a museum or a hotel now? How is everyone tonight? Well, we got 10 people. Nice. Hello, hello. Raj, hello. Elise, hello. Raj, hello again. Harrison, hello. How is everybody? William, hi. Rob, Gaming with Leo, hello. Christian, Fox Starline, nice haircut. Thank you very much. Whoa, 52 already. Holy cow. Maritime, hi, Sam. Can I get a shout out? Come into the Discord, man. We will talk. Just so y'all know, I am currently traveling, so I'm very inactive in the Discord. I haven't really been on there for a while, but yeah, when I get back next week, I'll be back active and we can talk more. I do on occasion peek my head in the door, so to speak. Willy Wonka, hello. Green Ninja, remember when you got on that train? Oh gosh, that's a memory I'd like to forget. Greetings from Germany, from Monin. Hello from Florida. Sorry about the train ride, Sam, the cutting room floor. It is what it is. Green Ninja, did you like being stuck on the train? It was fine for the first evening, and then I got annoyed. Listen, I can handle that train bed for a little bit of time, but the longer and longer you're there, the rougher and rougher it gets. Night Rider, hello from Turkey. Holy cow. Night Rider, you're the first person from Turkey that I've actually talked to on here. That's incredible, man. Your country's on my list of places I want to visit. Thank you very much. That's awesome. I can't believe you guys know about me over there. I didn't know that I was very popular over in that part of the world. That's crazy. Avi, hello from Idaho. Hello. Ori Painham, hi. Sorry I haven't been on the Discord, man. I'll be there soon. MMQ, is it nice in Florida? It is pretty nice here. Or paint him sad face. I'll be back soon. Don't worry. David, yo, I'm Alex. Hello from the Dominican Republic. I'm actually not too far from you guys. I'm in Florida. Well, okay, so I am kind of far, but boat ride away. Let's see, Rich. I am in New Jersey. I will be up in your way probably in the next couple of months. Georgia, good evening to you. Master Chief, how's Rosie? She's fine. My parents are watching her while I'm traveling. Let's see. Syrian, hello from Glasgow, Scotland. I cannot wait to travel to Scotland once the world opens up again. Brian, giving up on Discord? Why? Elise, there's something in Japanese. Let's see. You got rid of it while I was trying to read it. Josh, hello from Ireland. Hello from cold Minnesota. Let's see. Jim, Sam the Man. Shelby, hi from Pennsylvania. Let's see. Joe Jigs. Hi, Sam from Sydney, Australia. It's already morning here. Well, the sun is setting here. If I wasn't on a live stream, I usually go to the beach in the evening. That's kind of my go-to thing to do in Florida. Is I love going to the beach right at twilight. You know, watching the sun go down and watching the darkness creep in over the horizon. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And the cutting room floor is our first super chat of the evening. $5. Thank you very much. What'd you say? In theory, could Titanic stern stay afloat if the bow didn't pull it down since the compartments were still sealed? Actually, I was talking to Tom Linsky a little bit about that today. And in his new animation, you can actually see it. But it turns out that if you look at the wreck in between the Titanic's bow and stern, you'll have to forgive me. I don't have access to my models right now. There's a huge amount of space in between the bow and stern, like they call it the pulverized zone. So essentially, they think now that the Titanic broke into essentially 3 or 4 parts after the breakup. So no, the ship was so structurally compromised after that there's no way the stern could have stayed afloat. If it had been a clean break under specific circumstances, maybe, but not the way it happened. Jonathan. Jonathan, you are on fire, man. Another 50, man. I don't even know what to say. I mean, seriously, thank you so much. Man, dude, I can't even thank you enough. I really can't. I mean, the support you've done for this channel has been absolutely mind-blowing. Seriously, thank you so much. Ori Painham, can you check the DMs when you can? Yes, I will. Like I said, I'm not home at the moment, so I don't have access to my desktop. I just have to log in and check it on my own. So, Jonathan, that's crazy. Let's see. Yes, enjoy your channel. Thanks for the videos. Thank you. David, deep pockets. I know, am I right? Jonathan did another, he had a 50, he did a 50 super chat last night as well. Jonathan, thank you for the support, man. You are awesome. Let's see. Josh, I watched the 2019 documentary on the dive to the Titanic last week, and I was shocked at how bad of corrosion the stern is in. Yeah, the only thing about that is that we really don't get a full picture of the stern. You know, we don't get a absolute great analogy as how the stern looked. You know, I wish we had a full I don't know what the right word is, a full look at the stern like we do at the bow, but the stern is just, you just see a bunch of metal. So I'm very curious as to the full condition of the stern, because as far as I know, in that documentary, you never saw the engines. So Antoine, will we have the Andrea Doria someday? Yes, we will. Don't you worry about that. As soon as I get back from my trip, I'm going to start working on other ships. The next ship that I'm going to be covering is the Costa Concordia. Dana, could flex tape save the Titanic? Yes. Ori Payne in the Japanese text said good evening. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, guys. I need a drink. I've been talking so much lately that. Oh, by the way, I did visit the Titanic Museum today. It was super cool. Shelby, another 5. Thank you. I've always wondered what would have happened if the Titanic would have stayed close to the iceberg. Could it have helped if they hadn't kept moving? Well, the thing about that is ships do not stop on a dime. You know, you can't just stop a ship and have it just, you know, by the time they had already stopped the engines and everything, the iceberg was, take a look at the new animation that Tom Linsky did on Part-Time Explorer, because you'll see how fast the iceberg just shows up and then it's just gone. I mean, they really just didn't have time. And I mean, they would have wasted so much time trying to get back to the iceberg and find it again. So Gordon, another 5. Thank you so much. Sam, if you ever get to South Carolina, I'd be happy to show you around. Thank you so much, man. I'll let you know. I am actually planning to come to Charleston, South Carolina in the near future because I want to document the Hunley. Brian, is Amtrak the successor to the White Star Line? Possibly. A train version of the White Star Line. Jack, hey Sam, if you could go on any type of ship, even if it sank like the Titanic, which one would you go on? If I could go on any type of ship, you know, I would actually really like to travel on the Oceanic class, see what that would have been like the Atlantic and all that. I would also like to see the Big Four. Those were another big famous White Star Line vessel. Hold on. I always struggle with these. The Baltic, the Adriatic, the Celtic, and the Cedric. Yeah, those are the Big Four. Matthew, hi. Dolltube, hi, Sam. Remember me? Dolltube, how could I forget you? The cutting room floor, the Oceanic was beautiful. Knight Rider, ooh, yes. Antoine, I am attempting to construct a 16-foot scratch build of the Titanic model. Make sure you join the Discord when it's done, man. I'd love to see some pictures. Joel, please cover the Big Four. Yes, I will. Did I get all those ships right? Everybody in the chat, did I get all those ships right? The Baltic, the Adriatic, the Celtic, and the Cedric. Are those the Big Four? I'm pretty sure I got all those right. Kenneth Williams. Hi, Sam. My name is Kenneth, and I thought you could be friends on Facebook, considering me and you both Titanic enthusiasts. Just send me a friend request, man, and just let me know who you are. I try to be a little bit careful about whose friend requests I accept, but just find me. To be a funny question, what if Popeye was on the Titanic? If Popeye was on the Titanic, hang on. I haven't thought of Popeye in so long. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Boop, boop. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. He'd probably eat some spinach and lift the Titanic up. How's that? Man, I haven't thought of that in so long, man. I've got flashbacks galore. I watched that all the time when I was little. Little Sam, dance girl. Ryan, Sam, is Britannic safer than Titanic? Yes. Singing time, Game with Leo. Yep. Willy Wonka, my phone died as I was watching the stream. Oh, that's sad. Willy Wonka, can I get a golden ticket for the chocolate factory? Elemental, Sam, please do a video on the Holocaust and how do you think the Costa Concordia would have handled the Titanic sinking? World War II is something that I'm going to cover. If the Costa Concordia, the sinking of the Concordia and the sinking of the Titanic are completely different, you know, so it's very hard to compare them, but I would say if the Costa Concordia got the same amount of damage as Titanic, it would have sunk just like Titanic did. Because you got to remember the Concordia was damaged in a completely separate zone than the Titanic was. The Concordia was damaged towards the back part of the ship where the electrical system and the engines were. So, Leslie, do you think if instead of Titanic 2, we are planning on getting, do you think if instead of Titanic 2, we are planning on getting, would it be better to go the way of the Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth 2? Probably, most definitely. Because Titanic, it's such an old ship. The Cutting Room Floor, do you think Aquitania was a good looking ship? I don't know a lot about the Aquitania, but yeah, I think it was pretty. I've only seen a handful of pictures of it. And I believe it was the last 4-funnel vessel. Let's see. Georgia, thank you for the Discord link. And honestly, I have I've been trying to I didn't enable slow modes right away. So honestly, the chat's still doing pretty good. Mon, how are you? I'm doing okay. My voice is a little scratchy tonight, but I did spend all day yesterday working on a video. That video took all day to do. And I wasn't planning on doing any video work today, but then I found out the Titanic Museum was going to be closed Monday and Tuesday, so the next 2 days. So I had to rush over there and do that. I actually met some pretty cool people over there. There was an incredible historian and taught me a few things. It was really cool. Very cool piece. And I will actually show you guys. I'm not going to upload this yet. It's going to be part of my video. Wait. Let me find it. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Let me see how well it turned out. Yeah, I don't know how well you can see it, but this is just on my phone. But that's the actual piece of the Titanic's hull at the museum. That's an actual piece of steel from the Titanic. That was super cool to see. Like that was actually connected to the ship. Let's see. HMHS Britannic, $5. Was Britannic bigger than Titanic? Yes, it was. The Cutting Room Floor, heavier, not longer. Actually, Britannic was a little bit longer than Titanic. It was slightly longer. Leslie, ooh, the Great Eastern. Yeah, the Great Eastern is a good idea. I believe I already have that on my list, but that is something we need to cover. CG, do you like my channel banner design? Check your DMs. I'll also get my Historic Travels merch tomorrow. I'm so excited. That's awesome. Thank you so much, man. I will check my DMs once I get back onto Discord. We got 150. Wow. Ethan, hey Sam, my semester finals start tomorrow. Wish me luck. Good luck, Ethan. Everybody in the chat, wish Ethan good luck on his finals. Ethan, good luck. Everybody in the chat, send Ethan a good luck on his finals. Ethan, good luck. Good luck to you, Ethan. Dolltube, can you do something on the Empress of Ireland? Of course, I am going to get that at. It's probably going to be the Concordia and then the Empress of Ireland after that. I also want to, I really want to cover the Halifax explosion. Would you guys like a video on the Halifax explosion? And I really want to visit the town of Halifax. Like I want to go and just visit everything and, shoot, if there's anybody there who could actually give me a tour and talk about some of that stuff, I would love to meet with some people there. And Halifax, Nova Scotia. And good luck, good luck, good luck. Yes, 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 yes. Brooke, good luck. I just finished mine. Oh, that's awesome. Dancer, yes, please do the Halifax explosion. All right, we'll get to that. We will get to that. Itaki, yes, I live there after all. Then we need to talk because when I come and visit, I will love to actually have a tour because I would like to learn more about the history of all that entire area. You know, I don't know that much about Halifax, you know, so I want to learn more about it. Dalton, are you still in Florida? Am I still in Florida? Yes, there's palm trees outside. Yes, I'm still in Florida. Jack Flower, there was a ship anchor in Halifax that flew a few miles during the explosion. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. I found your Discord, David. That's awesome. Ori Payne, when can you be on Discord? I'll pop in. I'll try to pop in tonight. Or Lil Sam. Bro, you say that all the time. Just my personality, I guess. I'm a jokester, okay? This is just who I am. You know, one of my favorite books is a book called The Martian. There's a Matt Damon movie around the same concept, and it's basically like he's stuck on Mars. He's an astronaut that's stuck on Mars, and it's how he would survive. The movie is really good, but the book's better. And the way he problem solves and the way he thinks, his personality and my personality are very similar. So I think the book is absolutely hilarious, and just Like he's trying to fix the Mars rover, and he's like using sophisticated construction techniques, duct tape. I connected everything I needed to the rover. So just he has that real witty sense of humor. And he tries talking to NASA, and NASA's like, Mark, we can't send music files to Mars, so you're stuck with disco. I'm like, it's just funny. Joe Freddy, do you like Titanic, Honor and Glory? Yes, I do. John, evening from Manchester, UK. That is incredible. I really want to come back to the United Kingdom. I really, really do. Phil, Historic Travels, you changed your style from shirts to plaid to turtlenecks. I like shirts. You know, I change my shirts around a lot. Dana, can you do a video on the Normandy ship? I will get to it at some point. Should I create a shirt? I think I asked this question before, but what do you guys think again? Should I create a t-shirt for my merch store that says it's on the list and like maybe have a video of me or an image of me like scribbling something on a piece of paper? Should I do that? Super. Sam, you should make a gaming channel. I don't know. There's just so many gaming channels out there. It's kind of an oversaturated market, and I don't play games as much as I used to. I still like playing them every now and again. I was super into Fortnite for a very long time. Really, really into Fortnite. The last season I really dived into was the one where you can unlock Deadpool. Georgia, it's on the list. Mercy. John Walker's Godzilla sank the Titanic. I must say, it got me thinking. Yeah, Godzilla swam right underneath the Titanic, and its spikes, broke it. ZGG, yes, I will design it with Photoshop. ZGG, was that you who sent my sister that Avatar: The Last Airbender animation of us? Because that was really cool. She said that somebody sent that to her. Brooke, what made you interested in ships? When I was around 6 or 7, I saw the James Cameron movie of Titanic, and that's what initially sparked my interest. Tabia, can you make a video about Swedish ships? I don't know a lot about those, but just send me. I would need to know more specifics about them. Like I need to focus on one. Like the Estonia. I didn't know about much of that class of ship until I started studying up on the Estonia disaster, and I didn't know much about German ships until I started studying the Gustav. Like honestly, guys, doing this channel and making these videos has taught me more about ships than I ever would have thought possible. Ryan, Sam, do the USS United States. I am going to cover the United States. However, I have a project in the early stages right now that will involve the United States. So I can't say too much about it right now, but I'm talking to someone about doing a collaboration with the United States. So Patrick, do a video about the Olympic next, please. The Olympic will come. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Leslie, joke question. Titanic is a spaceship. What do you think? Well, they'd have to figure out a way to do airlocks and stuff because you go onto the deck, you'd be killed by the vacuum of space. And yeah, the Titanic, yeah, that wouldn't be good. The cutting room floor. Why do some people think the Titanic central propeller had 3 blades? You're getting into a big topic there. Hang on one second. Elemental Gaming. Costa Concordia has been on the list for like 3 months. Yes, but it was Titanic month. Elemental Gaming. So you got to give me a break. I was very busy with Titanic month. Hey guys, hang on one second. I got to shut a window. All right, I'm back. See, 2 seconds. Olympic, last man standing. Z Donuts, rest in peace, 40 hours of your life on that train. Ugh. Hey guys, I got a question for all of you. What did you all think of that train video? Because that was my first video, really, with the exception of the videos that I made at the beginning of kind of a vlog style video. I mean, what did you guys think of how I filmed it? Do you have any recommendations for how I could do it in the future? The video did turn out longer than I expected, but I mean, I thought it turned out pretty good. But what do you guys think? What was your guys' opinion of the train video and that whole situation? It was really good. I liked the video. It was pretty good. It was great. Okay. It didn't seem too long. Like the content was good because I was a little bit concerned about that. I'm like, I hope this isn't too much. Deputy, I loved your train video. Thank you, Christian. It was good. That's awesome. Liked it. Loved it. Liked the train video. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Osmond, I haven't seen it yet. You need to go watch it. It was good. I learned to always try to drive. Yeah. Well, I thought, you see, when I first got on the train, I was the first part of that video explaining how Amtrak was. That was the video that I intended to make. just a review video of the whole thing. And then it turned into a huge disaster. And that conductor, that conductor, he had a lot to be desired. That's putting it mildly. HMHS Britannic, $5. Thank you so much. Let's see. I saw this YouTube video about Britannic 2, Olympic 2, and Titanic 2 is getting built. I haven't heard anything about that with the exception of Titanic 2. But HMHS Britannic, once this video gets archived, please post a link to that video. I will check it out. Irish, another 5. Thank you. Do you know the HMS Birkenhead? I do not know that one. Let's take a look. Let's see. The HMS Birkenhead. HMS Birkenhead was referred to as an HM trip ship, steam ship. It was one of the first iron-hulled ships built for the Royal Navy. She was designed to be a steam frigate, but was converted into a troop ship. That is interesting. 1845. So what happened to this ship? Fate. She was wrecked the 26th of February, 1852, and I cannot pronounce that. Gaspy. That looks like something that may make an interesting video. Thank you so much. Thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about. I learned so much from you guys. Guy Incognito, $5. Happy Sunday, Sam. I liked your train video, but I can't wait to never get on a train. Oh, gosh. Listen. So, would you guys like to know what Amtrak did to compensate me for my trip? Because the conductor made an announcement. He's like, everybody on this train, make sure you call in, and Amtrak is going to compensate you for the trip. I'm like, oh, awesome. So we're going to get a refund or something for this entire trip. Would you guys like to know what they gave me for 40 hours of basically a nightmare? You guys want to know what they gave me? Let me know in the chat if you would like to know. Let's see. Jack, hey Sam, random question. What do you do for a living other than videos? Well, before COVID hit, I was actually I worked on a copper mine in Arizona. But then while I was trying to find a job and everything, I actually started trying out YouTube. So right now, YouTube is my job. And doing this full time, it's been great. You know, it's been good. Everything's been fine with it. So right now, YouTube is my full-time job. And we'll just see where it goes. Maybe this will continue, or maybe I'll have to go back to another project. I'm not sure yet. But for now, it's YouTube. Okay, so actually, they gave me a $200 Amtrak travel voucher for my future Amtrak travel needs. What do you think of that? A $200 travel voucher to Amtrak. I asked them, can't I just get a refund, or can I at least get that $200 in cash? Like, can you just redeposit that? And they're like, no, we don't give cash refunds. I'm like, a $200 travel voucher for 40 hours of a nightmare. I mean, honestly, though, I know it wasn't Amtrak's fault, and they did take care of us really good. You know, we all got food and yada, yada, yada. But anyway, I thought it would be a lot more. I thought we'd get something better than that. But, you know, it is what it is. Captain Alex, did the conductor get scolded after his unprofessional announcement? No, he did not. Kurt, it's the usual. Yep. John Smith, what about a video on the Mary Celeste and what you think happened? The Mary Celeste has been on my list for a while now, and I am going to cover that. Sorry, guys. I don't know what is up. I just can't stop coughing tonight. Irish, HMS Birkenhead is where the women and children first lifeboat came from. That's the Birkenhead maneuver. I never heard of that. Okay, thank you so much, man. I'll have to take a look at that. Kaylin, what if the Captain Smith did a lifeboat drill on the Titanic? Well, Kaylin, actually, they did do a lifeboat drill. And you have to remember, the reason that they canceled that drill on Sunday was because they'd already done a drill while the ship was in Southampton, I believe. And it went fine. And they were still breaking the Titanic's engines in, so they didn't want to slow the engines down because they're still trying to work them out. Guys, hang on. I've got to get some water. And I'm back. That is a lot. That is much more help. But yeah, they were still breaking in the engines. They were still figuring everything out. So that's why they didn't want to stop the ship, you know, because they already did a lifeboat drill. They were pretty confident with it, and that's just what happened. They should have done the drill. That's what I'm saying, but I understand why they didn't. It was just, they'd already done it. So, and Sunday service was going on. So, okay, I got that super chat. Jonathan, another 5. Thank you. Hey, Sam, what do you think of the Olympics green grand staircase after the 33 refit? I don't know much about it. Was it green? I'm not really sure. I guess it was. I feel like it was. I've only seen maybe 1 or 2 pictures, but I'm not an expert in the Olympics redesigns and stuff like that. So I will just have to research that a little bit more. But from what I've seen, like, yeah, I guess that was the Olympic. I just don't remember. I'd have to go back and take another look at it. But thank you for the super chat. Leslie, what if a giant flying lighthouse struck the Titanic? Phineas and Ferb thing. I don't know about that, but okay. I know what Phineas and Ferb is, but I don't know that a lighthouse struck the Titanic. The cutting room floor. So what about the 3-4 blade? Oh, that's right. I completely forgot. Okay, well, that's just a big debate. I don't know all the actual statistics of it. I don't know all the details. Ori Panem, it is not COVID. I got a shot. So, well, I've got the first shot. I still have to get the second shot because of that stupid placebo thing. But anyway, as far as 3-4 blade propeller, I think that has to do with Olympic, because of how the designs for the Olympic are. And I don't know enough. I don't know enough about it to actually say definitely for one reason or another, but I know there's conflicting reports about it. And that's just one of those big debates that people have based on plans and what the Olympic did. Because that famous picture of all those men by the big propellers that they say is Titanic, well, it's not. It's Olympic. So, I think I'm just going to guess here, but the cutting room floor, aren't those photos of the Titanic 4-blade propeller? No, that's Olympic. So that's just one of those things that I don't know enough about it to really say one way or the other. But if I had to guess, I would say 3-blade, because I believe there was something. Before that. I think there was something with Olympic before that. Wilsey, hello. Kellen, do you think there was any chance of saving Britannic when it first hit? Yes, I do. If they would have shut all the porthole windows immediately, if they would have shut all the portholes immediately and not try to beach the ship, because the Britannic could handle 6 compartments breached, and as long as the ship stayed stationary. So the ship couldn't move with 6 compartments flooded, but it didn't really matter because when the portholes went underwater, that was basically it. I think I'm going to make one little change here just to try to slow the chat down a little bit. We're going to set it for 20 seconds slow mode. I just turned it on. I just turned on slow mode. I was trying to see how long we could go without needing it, but we kind of need it now. Okay, let's see. Gaming with Leah. Hey, Sam, do you plan on making a video about President Kennedy? I'll stop bugging you about him. Yes, I am going to cover Kennedy. I think Kennedy was a really good president, but he wasn't very good to Jackie. That's the only thing I'll say. He wasn't a good husband, but he was a good president. Ian, hi, Sam. I've heard in these chats that teachers and parents show kids your history videos to teach them. How do you feel about that? Honestly, that's incredible. I saw some chats that teachers were actually telling me that they were showing my videos to kids, and it blew my mind, and it made me really proud. I was very proud. I was very thankful, and I'm like, just the fact that people in places of education saw my videos and thought that they were good enough to use to teach little kids about Titanic. That was just, that was an incredible moment for me. And I was really honored. I was incredibly honored by that. I mean, it's just really cool. I really like doing things, and I don't know. It's just whenever you're teaching somebody something and then you just see them light up when they learn something new and all that. I really love it. I really should be a teacher. A Little Good Doctor. Hi, Sam. I am a ship historian just like you. Maybe we could collab on a channel one of these days. Just join the Discord, man. But yes, we could probably do a collab someday. Sarang, could you tell me where you got the poster of Titanic that was behind you in the previous live? Yeah, that was given to me by my sister and her husband. They found that in an antique store. Rico, what happened to all the dead bodies inside the Wilhelm Gustloff? I imagine they just eroded away over time. They just broke down in the sea. Anthony, hi, Sam. You are doing a great job with your videos. I do have a Titanic-related question. Are there any of the survivors from Titanic, their own children, still alive today, or any of their relatives? Oh, of course. Now, there's nobody. The last Titanic survivor died in, let me think, 2011, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. What year did Melina Dean pass away? I could probably Google that real quick. Melina Dean, RMS Titanic. Melina Dean, there she is. I found her. She died in 2009. Okay, so the last Titanic survivor died in 2009. But of course, there's still videos of their kids and great grandkids or grandkids that are still alive. 2009, 2009. Okay. So I think one of the most incredible moving things that I ever saw was in the Titanic 20 Years with James Cameron. I think it was Isidore and Ida Strauss's great grandson that they had on there. Yeah, it was his great grandson. And he actually had a locket that was recovered from Isidore's body. And inside of it was a picture of his grandmother as a little girl that Isidore had on him when the Titanic went down. And like just to hear that story, like that he still has this artifact. I mean, it blew my mind. Like when I went to the Titanic Museum today, I'm just showing you guys like things that I saw from my phone. I haven't uploaded any of this stuff yet. I haven't archived it, but just like right here, like this is actual silverware that was brought up from the wreck that they actually have in this museum. And just to see these things, it just like, it's the things that people touch and the stories behind them that really it makes the ship feel more alive. It's not just something that you see on TV, they actually have one of the ships, one of the, what are they called? The telemotor. I mean, seriously, unbelievable. Sarang, do you feel like there will be more ocean liners at the Queen Mary 2? I hope so, but I just don't know how popular, that these kind of things are. I don't know. I mean, of course, ships are popular to all of us on here, but I just don't know if there'd be enough of a market for a transatlantic liner. I hope there would be, but I don't know. Eric, ships float on water, I think. I don't know. Yes, ships float on water. Jay, hi Sam, love your videos. Thank you, Jay. Callan, don't know why, but I like the style of old ships like Titanic instead of the modern cruise ships. Oh, absolutely. Oh, those older ships had such style, like a lot of the ships today, like I would love to sail on the Royal Caribbean Oasis class ships like the Oasis, the Allure, and the Symphony, but they look like floating cities. They don't have that ocean liner look, that traditional. That's one reason why I love the Disney ships. I just pride. That's why I love those, the Disney ships, is because they kept that traditional ocean liner look, I've been talking too much. Dash the Arctic Fox. Do the German ship Kaiser Wilhelm der Grosse. Oh, I need to do that one. Wasn't it one of the first 4-stacker ships? Ian, Oasis class looks like a bathtub. I don't know if I go that far, but John, modern ships are giant car ferries. Let's see. Abyss, dude, you are doing a wonderful job. I love your videos. Greetings from Brazil. Well, greetings from Florida. I hope you're doing good. Santiago, hello. Hi, Santiago. Excuse me. Tankor, what if somehow Olympic was able to arrive to the Titanic while she was sinking? And what if the Titanic's funnels never collapsed? Well, if the Titanic's funnels didn't fall, it'd be similar to the Lusitania. But I did actually make a dedicated video talking about how they would actually do a rescue mission from the Titanic to the Californian. But the one thing that I did not cover in that video, I just didn't have time. I was getting ready to leave and I was just trying to get a video up. But I want to talk about time, time restraints, because I've already talked about how they didn't have enough time to launch the lifeboats. So I actually want to cover how that's going to be another what if video, is how would the rescue of the Titanic possibly have played out? Like I did make a video talking about how it could be done, but under the time constraints, what could they have possibly done to get people off the Titanic? Like a what if Titanic history, what if? How would they have actually gotten the people off the Titanic with more lifeboats and if another ship was there? Something along those lines. Lucy, what is the most common way a ship sinks if something pierces the hull? Colin, Titanic 2 is being built right now. I don't think so. I've been hearing that since 2008 or 2012. Leslie, what do you think is the world's most famous ship other than Titanic? Depends on what you mean by famous ship, but I would probably go with the Queen Mary. If you're into Titanic, then you probably know what the Queen Mary is. Maybe the Olympic. Lusitania, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of them. Jack, hey Sam, did you ever consider doing a video on the Mayflower? I did not, but that would be pretty interesting. Hang on, let me think here. Maria, Penta, Santa Maria, the Columbus's ships. Did I get those right? Maria, Penta, Santa. I haven't thought about those in so long. Maria, Penta, Santa. Those are the three names that are coming to mind. Am I getting those right? In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. I do remember that. Lorenzo, what about the supposed warnings from the SS? I don't know that yet. Maybe a video about that. I'm not familiar with that. I have to look into it. Jack, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Game with Leo. Hi, Sam. I got to go. I'll be on your next live stream. Bye. See ya. King Kermit, Historic Trials, what do you think of THG's new syncing animation? I wasn't aware that they made a new syncing animation. I know that Tom Lansky at Part-Time Explorer made one, but that's not THG. Is that the one you're talking about? Christopher, love the channel. Was there any truth to the letters M and P being found? Oh, gosh, no. No, the Olympic and Titanic were not switched. It was not switched. Captain Alex, I don't know if you know this, but did you know Ireland is planning to build a Lusitania Museum? That is incredible. I hope they do that. I hope they actually build a Lusitania Museum. Lusitania needs to get more attention. I know Lusitania is already pretty famous, but honestly, when I got my Titanic models in, I was like unboxing them and stuff like that. And I was at my parents' place, and that my parents had a friend there. And when I pulled out the first model, I got Olympic, Titanic, and Britannic at the exact same time. And the first ship that I just happened to pull out of the box was the Lusitania. And their friend saw me pull out the Lusitania, and she just saw the 4 funnels and went, "Oh, is that Titanic?" And I went, "No, it's Lusitania." But you see, that's just what happens. If you're not a ship expert, everyone thinks a 4-funnel ship is Titanic. I mean, that's just how it is, you know? Dylan, what do you think the Titanic 2 would look like if it was like the Queen Mary? It would look like the Queen Mary. The Little Good Doctor Discord link. If anybody here is in my Discord, can you repost the link, please? Christopher David, Historic Travels. What model would you like to be made by the way? Christopher David, what model would you like to be made by the Titanic? I'd like them to remake the Atlantic model because I didn't get to buy it when they briefly made it. So I would like for them to do that. Show, is there any evidence of what happened to Jack Phillips after he got separated from Harold Bride? Couldn't find anything myself. Actually, Jack Phillips was, thanks, Ori Painham. Jack Phillips made it to one of the lifeboats. I believe it was, I can't remember if it was collapsible A or B, but Jack Phillips did make it to one of those boats, and he died in the boat. But he did survive the entire night. And then when the story that I heard is that when the first signal flare went up from the Carpathia, he looked up, he saw it, and he was like, "There's our rescue." And then he died. So it's like he made it to the boat. He was critically injured. I don't know how, but it's like he just hung on for the entire night to make sure that his work, his efforts weren't in vain. And when he saw the Carpathia arrive on the scene, he died peacefully because he did his job. So that's what I heard. I haven't researched it, but that was a story that I heard. So I do need to make a dedicated video about that. Leslie, are we going to have a video on the Queen Elizabeth? Eventually. Gail, hello. Hi. Matthew, check out the Titanic Real Time by Part-Time Explorer. I've seen it. It's incredible. That's actually going to make me change up my videos a little bit. And I actually was talking to Tom Linsky today, actually, and I'm going to be switching over my animation from the Titanic Honor and Glory to the Part-Time Explorer one. And he's cool with it and everything. We chit-chatted about it. But yeah, so that's going to be animation that I'm going to be using some in the near future. It's a great animation. Kaylin, do a video on the SS America. It's on the list. King, Jack Phillips is a real hero. I just hate it when people give him a bad rap, just like when people give Andrew Smith and Murdoch a bad rap. Yeah, the thing is, people look for anything to say about Titanic. Oh, the Titanic had weak steel. And then boom, they just run with it without even looking into it. A coal fire sunk the Titanic. Then boom, they just run with it without doing any research. So, I mean, it's just whatever. Jack Phillips sends a message that says, "Shut up, I'm working," without even doing any kind of context into it. They just immediately assume he's just being, arrogant or whatever. Hotel. Did Titanic go down vertical like the James Cameron? It didn't go down like it didn't go completely vertical. Wow, I cannot stop coughing tonight. I'm sorry, guys. The Titanic didn't climb as high pre-breakup. You know, it didn't climb to nearly such a high angle pre-breakup. But once the ship split in two, yes, it did go vertical. Although it did break into 4 parts. That's the latest theory. Marathon, sorry to hear about your delays on your train trip to Florida. Could you guys tell in that video, like more towards the end of the video, how exhausted I was? Like, I mean, when I was going back and I was editing it, I didn't realize, like, I'm like, I looked like a wreck towards the end of that video, but anybody would in that situation. But that was, but honestly, that was just kind of like a big highlight to the whole thing is I made it to the beach like 2 minutes before sunrise. And I just saw the sun gently start to lift up above the horizon. I'm like, oh, that was absolutely beautiful. Well, Algerdo, historic travels. Would Lusitania have survived the torpedo hit if there was no second explosion? It does seem like the ship didn't develop such a sharp list. I wish I had my models until after the second explosion, but it's debatable. Timothy, 4 parts, question. Can you explain that? I haven't heard that at all before. Well, essentially what it is that they're saying now that when the Titanic broke in half, I just have to use my hands. So when the ship split and went flat, pretend this is the stern, okay? This section right along the edge, they say that got massively structurally compromised, and parts of the closest part of the stern to the bow that broke, it's like all of that began to crumble and break off. Because if you look at the wreck, there's huge chunks of just mangled steel on the bottom of the ocean. It's just that. So that's what they think. They think that the ship actually massively broke apart, and there were big chunks of it that actually fell apart and split into 4 parts. Georgia, pack your models next time you go away, Sam. I probably should, but I'm more worried about breaking them because that poor Titanic model. Nathan, for a while, there had been rumors of a replica Titanic 2 being built. Do you think it will actually be built, and should it be built? I do not. I do not think it should be built. Now, in China, they're building a building that looks like Titanic, and they're going to make it a museum, and I'm okay with that. But you cannot build a ocean liner vessel, an ocean-going vessel, and have it be just like the Titanic. Essentially, it would just be the Titanic on the outside with modern stuff on the inside that looks like the Titanic. Because, I mean, honestly, the Titanic is a ship from 109 years ago. So, I mean, I don't think they should. If they do it, they're just doing it for publicity. And, you know, the Titanic's a dinghy by modern-day ship standards. It's extremely small. It's smaller than the Queen Mary. And the Queen Mary is a pretty small ship if you've ever seen it in Long Beach. Elemental Gaming, Historic Travels. My brother's girlfriend is friends with one of those kid survivors from the Holocaust. That's crazy. Really? That's insane. Kaylin, it probably won't happen because it's been too long, but I wish for the bow of the Titanic to be raised. They can't. They can't. The Titanic is literally barely being held together. You know, it's rapidly falling apart. So, I mean, there's no way they could bring anything up at this point. As soon as they tried to move it, it would just collapse under its own weight. It's too deep and it's too badly corroded. Ike, can you do something about the Sultania? I believe that's on my list already. Let me double check something. Sultania, guard my memory. The steamboat was Mississippi Riverside. Yeah, it's on my list. I will get to it. Don't you worry. I will get to it. Joe Boss, should they restore the Queen Mary to service? I wish they would, but I remember that when I went to the Queen Mary, I was on a tour, and I asked the guy there, do you think the Queen Mary will ever be restored to service? Like, could they ever make the ship sail again? And he said, absolutely not. One of the deals with Cunard Line after the ship was retired was that the ship would never move under its own power again, which that's kind of a stupid deal to me. I don't really get why they would do that. I mean, they were going to make it a hotel. I get it. But honestly, what do you guys think? Do you think it would be extremely cool to see the Queen Mary sail again? Like, can you just imagine walking to the beach, like at Port Canaveral or New York or whatever, and see the Queen Mary and smoke coming from the funnels and just see it slowly pull into the harbor? Like, oh, that would just be the coolest thing in the world. They really do need to treat that ship better because I'm really worried about the Queen Mary. Aeroflags, it would be amazing, yes. But you know, before they do anything with the Queen Mary, I think they need to put money in and restore the United States and get the United States in good shape. Because honestly, the United States is falling apart. It's even worse shape than the Queen Mary. I would love to see them restore the United States. Make it just like the Queen Mary. You know, make her a floating museum hotel. Ugh. We got another super chat from Shane, $5. Thank you very much, Shane. What about a video about the SS Flizzle or a whole series of videos like you did on the Titanic? I'm not familiar with that ship. Let's take a look. SS Flizzle. Let's take a look at what vessel this is because it's not ringing any bells. SS Flores was a passenger liner that was the flagship of the Baring Brothers Red Cross Line steamship, one of the first ships in the world specially designed to navigate icy waters. Interesting. Super, super interesting. So what happened to this ship? Fate. She sank after striking a reef. Really? So a ship that was designed to handle icy conditions sunk after it struck a reef. That's a little ironic, but this is very interesting. I will take a look into this. Oh, they actually had pictures from it. So 1918. Very interesting. Thank you so much, man. Robert, I'm going to be really sad to see the SS United States go. I know, it really, really, really sad. Bro, hello, Sam. I'm back. Eric, the Florida is an amazing story. The Florida, is that a ship? I feel like I've heard that before. Little Good Doctor, can you check out my channel, please? I will take a look. Just post a link to it in the comment section for this video when it gets archived because I get busy. I'm not trying to, you know, ignore people or anything. So if you message me in Discord or you message me on here and I don't reply, I get busy doing other stuff and I just forget to do things. Let's see. Listen, yeah, what would have happened if the Titanic hit the seafloor mid-sinking? I don't really understand what you're asking there. Elemental Gaming, what would you think of Lusitania 2, Britannic 2, or they're not going to make them. They're not going to make them. Let's see. Villa, Historic Travels. During the party at the Ellicott restaurant, what's something the captain and his friends would talk about? Because I'm trying to write a Minecraft parody and I need help. Okay. Honestly, they talk about a lot of things. They'd probably talk about politics. They'd talk about how the steamships were doing. I would imagine that if any passengers were concerned about ice or how safe the Titanic was, they would probably talk about the Republic disaster, you know, because the Republic was the White Star Line's biggest disaster. Well, not biggest disaster, but the most recent shipwreck before the Titanic. The Republic was 1909. I can't get over how tired I am. Shane, $5. Why not just put the Queen Mary out of its misery? I say sink it and make it more useful as an artificial reef like other wrecks. Ugh. You know, Shane, I would be really sad to see them actually sink the Queen Mary. But at the same time, if it ever came to that, I would rather them make the Queen Mary a reef than scrap the ship. You know? I would very much, if they ever were like, we're going to scrap the Queen Mary, we can't afford to keep it any longer, I would say make it a reef because at least you wouldn't have to upkeep it anymore. It could be visited by divers and the Queen Mary would still exist. I would much rather them do that than scrap the ship because at least we would still have the Queen Mary in a way. What do you guys think? Would you guys, if they were ever going to get rid of the Queen Mary, would you rather see them scrap her or sink her? You have to pick one of the two. They're going to get rid of the Queen Mary. I don't want them to get rid of the Queen Mary. Don't take that out of context. But if they were going to, would you rather them scrap it or make it a reef? Which would you rather see? Like Cutting Room 4, sink is better than scrap. Yeah, Deputy, Queen Mary is bankrupt. I heard that's happened before. Somebody will buy her. Gale, sink. Goku, sink. Elemental, sink. Definitely better than scrapping for sure. Sink it. But if they scrapped it, sink. Everybody's like, sink it. I can tell you one thing. If they did decide to sink the Queen Mary, I would have to be there. You know, I'd have to go and I'd have to go down and watch. You know, I would want to be there because if the Queen Mary, I mean, with the exception of the United States, but the United States is in such horrible condition. The Queen Mary is the last true golden age ocean liner that is left in the world. You know, it is the last one. The United States is still around, but it's a shell of what it used to be. The Queen Mary is still relatively intact. You can go on the Queen Mary and get an idea of what it's like. I would put the United States in the same classification if the ship was still, you know, looking good. But if you go aboard the United States, it's just gutted. There's nothing in there anymore. So $2 from Shane. Scrap. Turn it into shaving razor. Shane, why? Why, Shane? Thank you for the super chat. I'm pretty sure you're just trolling, but thank you, Shane. Turn it into shaving razors? Seriously. Robert, come on, man. Please stop talking about scrapping the Queen Mary. All right. No more nightmare Queen Mary being scrapped scenarios. King Kermit, the Queen Mary is a reminder to us of the golden age of ocean liners. Absolutely. I really hope that they do something better about the Queen Mary. Shane, we need more shaving razors, man. Yeah, but you're not taking the Queen Mary. You're not taking our ship to make shaving razors. Antoine, do you play any video games? Yeah, on occasion. I play a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't have enough time to actually really commit to games, and I don't have time to. I just don't have that kind of time to really dive into long-lasting games anymore. I do want to check out that new Resident Evil. That looks pretty crazy. Village, I think. I saw some video of it, and I'm like, holy crap. And I'm not even a Resident Evil fan. I don't think Fox Starline is in here because he absolutely loves the Queen Mary, so I was expecting to see him, like, explode. Like, no, nothing can happen to the Queen Mary. Lucenia, like while the Titanic was sinking, what if the bow hit the seafloor while the stern was high in the sky? Look at the Britannic for that. The Britannic is a great example. I think she just would have rolled over. You know, that's what usually happens. The cutting room floor, Britannic versus Olympic, which is better looking? I'd say Olympic because it actually looks like a ship, like an ocean liner, not the hospital ski. Grahampa, good evening. Have you seen Queen Mary 2 in any of your travels? Impressive ship. I have not. I would love to see it, and I really want to sail on her. As soon as everything calms down with COVID and the world gets moving again, I would love to sail on the Queen Mary 2. I talked about that before, that I want to do a European tour, like a big trip to Europe, go see everything, and then when I come home, I want to come home on the Queen Mary 2. Vance, will you do something on the Queen Elizabeth? Yes, at some point I'll get to it. Elemental, historic travels. What do you think we should do with the United States? I would just say turn her into a hotel, you know, make her a floating museum. But at this point, it's easier said than done. So, I mean, it's just gutted. The entire ship is gone, you know. Leslie, imagine seeing the Queen Mary and Queen Mary 2 moving at the same time. Wouldn't that be amazing? I remember when I first saw the Queen Mary, and like I went to LA and I took the train system to Long Beach, and then it was still about 2 miles away from the ship, so I took an Uber, and there's a bridge you go across to get to the Queen Mary, and when I saw it sitting there, it just didn't seem real to me that I was looking at a traditional ocean liner. Christopher, another 5. Thank you. Violet Jessup, a real woman who survived Olympic Britannic. Is it true the Titanic was going to be called Gigantic? No. Well, Violet Jessup was real. She was on board the Olympic when it had the collision with the Hawk. She was on board the Titanic, and she was also on board the Britannic. She was on board all 3 ships and survived all 3. And Titanic was not going to be called Gigantic. That was Britannic. However, there is some debate about that. The White Star Line said that they were never actually going to call the Britannic Gigantic. However, there was some advertising merchandise that came out that said that they were actually going to do it. So I think they were going to call it Gigantic, but then Titanic went down, so they quickly changed it. That's what I think happened. But yeah, Violet Jessup was real, and she has a crazy story. Shane, another 5. Thank you. I'd save the USS Enterprise, CVN-65, as far as budget before the Queen Mary. The Enterprise had warriors of her make a Enterprise Hall of Fame. I'm not as familiar with warships, but USS. What is the fate of the Enterprise? USS Enterprise launched 1960. What CVN-65? There it is. She was retired. I don't see anything in here about her fate, though. What did they end up doing with her? What did end up happening to the Enterprise? Dan Russell, can you make a video about scary things? Possibly. Jose, what would happen if you were in the last watertight compartment as it went down? Describe. Enterprise is a museum. Okay. If you were in the last watertight compartment, eventually water would get to you. You know, it would probably. If you were in the last compartment, it would just depend on how the stern went down. But I'd say most likely you'd be killed by the implosion. You know, it was scrapped. Okay, so what happened to the Enterprise, guys? I heard it's a museum. I've heard it was scrapped. But eventually, if you were in the last compartment, you would just you'd be crushed by the pressure. Let's see. Hotel. Is there any possibility that the Titanic split in two parts under the surface? That's from a thing that I saw a documentary about that where they think that happened. But here's the thing. Just too many people said that they saw the Titanic break. You know, too many people saw the ship break. I mean, because the only reason they ever concluded the ship sank intact was a testimony of two officers, or two people. It was Second Officer Charles Lightoller and Archibald Gracie. And both of those men were not in positions to be watching the stern. You know, Archibald Gracie was fighting for his life by the Grand Staircase Dome, and Lightoller was fighting for his life underwater because he was sucked onto one of Titanic's vents. So they were not in a position to see what the stern was doing. But everybody else who watched it, so many people were like, it broke. The Titanic broke in two. And one survivor said that when the ship split, he actually saw the engines inside the stern slide forward and a part of it get sheared off by the bow section. And when they went down to the wreck and they looked at it, they actually found some evidence of that. And they're like, holy crap, like this guy had a great pair of eyes. So, I mean, no, there is no chance the ship broke in two below the surface, in my opinion. It's just like the D-deck gangway door. Some people like to say that the door, that Lightoller never ordered those men to open the door, that it blew open when it hit the seafloor. And I'm like, okay, but they said they opened it on the surface. And when you go to the wreck, the door is open. So, Gaming Boy, did Titanic spoilers catch fire during construction? No, but a coal bunker did during the sailing. 4160, what you got in the bowl? You're never going to tell me what you mean by that, are you? You've been sending me that for months now. ZGG, I DM'd you the new merch design. I'll take a look at it. Lawrence, hey Sam, do you offer a special VIP service for your fans who desire a more... Oh gosh. Okay, let's see. Remove. Okay. All right. Let's see. Nice haircut. Thank you. Thank you. Leslie, if you could see any ship restored, what would it be? If you could see any ship restored, what would it be and turn into a museum other than Titanic? Lusitania. Lusitania, definitely. Colin, do you think if we had the technology a day after Titanic sank, we could have raised the bow and stern? Maybe. It would just depend on how structurally intact they were. It would just depend on how structurally intact they were, like from the impact of the seafloor. But yes, I mean, we were able to raise wrecks before, but Titanic, it's big. It's a very big ship. They'd have to cut it into sections, even if they had time. Chris Brown, hey Sam, I ordered an Honor and Glory model 3 years ago, and it's still not there. Yeah, that'll happen. Let's see. Jose, how much time did the pumps buy the ship? You know, it all depends. It all depends on who you talk to about it, but I'd say at least 30 minutes. At least 30 minutes to an hour. Brian, Enterprise is going to be... Oh, wait, what? Okay, Dan, how do you know so much? A lifetime of study, man. A lifetime of study. Lucinda, I have seen 2 photos of the Britannic's Grand Staircase, one with a very simple white design, another very much like Olympic and Titanic's, but with a painting instead of a clock. What photo is accurate? I'd have to take a look into that because I am not an expert in the Britannic. So I'd have to go and take a look. Shane, how old are you? I am 29. Sir, hey, just wondering why ships back then had a sort of tilt. Was it the cameras or the ship structure? It all depended on what was going on. Now, ships didn't intend to have a list, but, you know, it's just things happened. You know, with the Titanic, they had to move that coal from the coal fire, so the ship had a small list, so... Mr. Truffles, do you think people should build more ocean liners like the SS United States and other ocean liners, but more safe and modern? I think it'd be really cool if we had more ships that had a more traditional ocean liner look to them. That's what I think. Sarain, do you think they should recover the Marconi machine? If you would have asked me about 5 or 6 years ago, I'd say no, leave it in there. But at the same time, the Titanic is in such a rapid state of decay that if we do not recover artifacts from it now, well, we never will. And honestly, I'd be surprised that the Marconi wireless is actually still there today, because it's been there so long. But at this point, the Titanic is falling apart. And if we don't save things from it, then we're going to lose it. When I was actually at the museum today, let me show you one other thing that I saw that was absolutely mind-blowing. But it was one of the telemotors, like the that was on the that they would use to signal the engine room and the bridge. This was actually recovered from the Titanic. This is one of them. And when I absolutely saw that, it blew my mind. Just to actually see these artifacts, just to see these and one crazy thing that they actually saw that I saw that was very surprising is, I don't know if you can see it, but this lever right here, you know what this is? That's a toilet flushing mechanism. That's how they flushed toilets back then on toilets. So that's an actual Titanic toilet flusher. I'm like, are you serious? That's actually one of the that's how they flushed toilets. And it was actually flung from the ship as the ship went down. So, I mean, crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, Dan, let's see. Would you be on the Titanic? No, I wouldn't. I would love to see the ship, but I wouldn't board the Titanic. All right, everybody, we are coming up on we just hit the 1 hour mark, and I will take 1 or 2 more questions, and then I'm going to call the stream for the night. But thank you guys so much for being here. HMHS Britannic, can a propeller of the Titanic be raised? No, they're kind of half buried in the dirt and mud and all that. So then they'd also have to disconnect it from the stern. So it'd be a job. They might be able to do it, but let's see. ROG, will you have White Star Line merch? Possibly. I'm not sure how that would work as far as trademarks and stuff like that, but White Star Line's gone, so maybe it's okay. I don't know. I'd have to do some research. Let's see. One last question. Let's do something Titanic-based. 270 people in here. That's crazy. Let's see. Let's get one last good question. Sir, what about some ships that had a sort of V shape when you go to the middle? I'm not really sure about that. Oh, are you, okay, I think I know what you're talking about, like how the Queen Mary, I don't know, like, I think I know what you're trying to say. I'm trying to pick out the words. But if you go to the Queen Mary, it looks like there's a slight uphill shape to it. I believe that was so the ship could actually bend and flex due to the waves and stuff like that. I believe that's what you're talking about. Is that what you mean? Shane, sacrifice one, the Queen Mary or the Enterprise? Oh, gosh. The Queen Mary or the Enterprise? I'd say some people are going to hate me for this, but I would have to say, I can't, if you're going to ask me, I would want to say the Queen Mary, but that's just because I'm attached to that ship and I have a personal connection to it. But the Enterprise was a warship that did a lot of good as well. So I'm going to say save them both. Boom. Save both ships. Do not let any ships be sacrificed. Done. That's it. That's it. Christopher, 5. Thank you so much. This is all right. Brookside College in Devon, England is using your videos on Titanic in its history lessons. I think you should ask for royalties. Seriously? And Devon, England is using your videos on Titanic in its history lessons. I think you should ask for... Seriously? I just said that, but that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Over in England, they're using my videos to teach? That's incredible. Okay, I'm like blown away. Thank you so much for that 5. Thank you for telling me that. You just made my night. You just made my night. Irish, 5. Thank you. I was there when the Titanic steam whistle... Seriously? Oh, that's incredible. I actually saw the video of it. I actually saw video of the Titanic's whistle being blown. They connected to like a compressed air machine. Oh, that was so cool. And you were there when it was, okay. Irish, please come into the Discord because I would love to talk to you about that. All right, let's do 1 or 2 more questions. We're okay for now. Let's do, because the chat's very lively tonight, so I'll do 1 or 2 more questions. Colonial, do you think Titanic deserves the fame it has today while other disasters are forgotten? Titanic is very unique. And yes, I do believe the Titanic deserves the fame. I do think Titanic deserves, because it was such a unique event. I mean, it was a tragedy. Don't get me wrong. It was horrible. But at the same time, the ship went down in such a way that there was things going on. It's like the Titanic went down so slowly that there was time for events to happen. You have people from all walks of life. You got the wealthy elite. You've got immigrants trying to start a new life. You've got the president of the company on board. You've got the ship's designer. I mean, there's just so much to the Titanic. There's just so much to it. And I mean, yes, I do think the Titanic deserves its fame, because there was heroes, there was villains. It's not just like a sinking where, the ship rolls over so fast. There was time for people to make up their mind. Because, I mean, think about it. If you're on the Titanic, you essentially have 2 hours and 40 minutes to live, and you just have to try to figure out what to do. I mean, the Titanic didn't capsize. I mean, it was like slowly watching your world sink. Like say the Titanic's the Earth and you're watching the Earth slowly sink. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense, but you get what I'm trying to say. Ron, have they found any proof of the aft grand staircase wreckage dome? I believe they did. I remember seeing in the debris field some pictures of parts of the grand staircase, of the aft one, I believe. I can't remember if it was the aft grand staircase or the regular grand staircase. I can't remember. All right, guys, I'm going to do one more question, and then I'm going to go ahead and conclude the stream for tonight. One more question, guys. Okay. The Epic Show. Hey, Sam, have you heard of Carl D. Bradley? You probably haven't. It was a ship that sunk in the Great Lakes with only 2 survivors. It's not so popular. It's hard to find anything on it. Let's take a look. Carl D. Bradley. Okay, let's go back. Let's check out this ship real quick. Let me see. Carl D. Bradley was a self-unloading Great Lakes freighter that sank in Lake Michigan storm on November 18, 1958. Of the 35 crew, 33 died in the sinking. That is incredibly interesting, and I think that would make a very, very good video. And there is a pretty cool painting that I just found on it. Hang on a second, guys. Well, it's on that. I was going to send a picture, but anyway. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I will take a look at that. Thank you all very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We got another super chat. You guys trying to keep me on the live stream tonight? You guys determined to keep me from wrapping up the stream? $5 super chat from Donald. Thank you very much. Do you think if they had the technology to lift Titanic when it sunk, do you think they would have lifted it? I'd say so. Because after the Titanic went down, there was a lot of people who actually wanted to try to recover bodies from the Titanic. They wanted to try to recover their loved ones and stuff. And believe it or not, I actually read that there was a plan in the works to drop bombs onto the wreck of the Titanic and try to blow the ship open in order to have bodies float up from the seafloor and onto the surface. So yes, if they had the technology and the means in 1912, they would have tried to, I'm sure they would have tried to raise the Titanic. I'm sure they would have. All right, everybody. Well, hey, I am going to go ahead and conclude the stream for tonight. And thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for the questions and the live stream. And same time next week, we will go live again. So Sunday at 7:30 Eastern time is when we're going to do that. And brick ships, they wouldn't have been able to do it anyway due to the pressure. They didn't understand that stuff back then. But yeah, everybody, thank you all so much for being here. Everybody who did super chats, thank you guys for that as well. Everybody here, you guys are incredible. Thank you all so much. I really could not do it without you. You guys are the best part of Historic Travels. And yeah, guys, listen, just keep doing what you do. I love the support. I could not do it without you. So guys, thank you very much. You guys are incredible. All right, everybody. Well, hey, y'all stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good night, everybody.